Don't chase her. Women reveal why they lose respect for you by distinguished living. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro. I'm very excited for this one because a lot of guys think that the persistence, the Disney Channel fairy tale that we seen growing up, where guys just kept chasing the girl, like the nerd kept chasing the popular girl and took her from the football player or the bad guy or whatever. That's not how life works, bro. That's not it. It's actually the opposite. The guy who acts like he doesn't care or the guy who prioritizes himself first is normally the guy who gets the woman. And why is that? Is simply because most guys, they're all about getting the woman. They dedicate their lives to pleasing the woman, making the woman like them. The guys who don't, that piques women's interest because it's not low hanging fruit. People love the things that are harder to obtain. Let's jump into it though. That's a long ass intro.
All right. Let's see what Sadia has to say.
Now, what makes a man super attractive is his ability to embrace rejection. So when a woman doesn't want you, firstly, you don't take it personal. You don't take it personal. Secondly, you accept her opinion. What the weak men will do is when a woman rejects him, he'll fight harder. We start to see you as somebody who doesn't have alternatives. And by alternatives, we don't mean you need to have other women like.
I think a big reason for this is that
Wait a minute. Let me pause it for a second here, bro. The guys who fight harder are just the guys who are desperate. And it makes you look desperate, bro. Because you're fighting for this woman. And the first thing she's going to think is, oh, he clearly doesn't have any other options. If he got to go this hard for me, then clearly he doesn't have anything going on, bro. So when you just focus on the women that like you and the women that's giving you some, acceptance, then it doesn't come off force. It doesn't come off you're chasing. It just comes off as you're matching energy with someone who's interested in you. That's why I tell you guys, don't chase, replace.
men have been conditioned for years to pursue women with the idea that the guy that pursues the hardest is the one that gets the woman. Essentially, the courtship ritual used to look very, very different. Now, to put it into context, just because the guy was chasing doesn't mean he was necessarily submissive. There was just a different cultural reality behind what each role had to do in order to satisfy whatever principle or whatever feeling people had. Obviously, guys are extremely slow to adapt to the meta, so a lot of them are just doing whatever their dad or grandfather told them, and that just does not work any longer. And now in the modern era, it is perceived as submission or acting out of scarcity. If you honestly think about it critically, though, it makes perfect sense why this change occurred. Think about it reasonably.
No, he's telling 100%. Back in the day, being persistent was definitely more attractive, but you got to understand the women were different back then and the times were different back then. Like, women played a different role. Women's role in society now has changed completely. And they want a man whose role hasn't changed. You get what I'm saying? They still want that traditional man, even though they've changed. So you definitely have to get out of that mindset of what your father and grandfather did. It's just a different time.
Why would you chase somebody so hard if you don't need them? It doesn't make sense, and it only really made sense in a totally different time where practicality and usefulness or resourcefulness were the most important thing. Today, those characteristics have much lower value than they used to. In the Western world, anyway. Let's keep going.
But you should have a life that you enjoy with or without us. And we are not attracted to men that are not living a fulfilling life. So hanging on makes it really...
They're not attractive because they want to come into your life when at a good place. That's just how it is, bro. Like, it's just, think about it. If you're a guy, you never travel, you never have anything going on, you never do anything fun, you just play video games all day. If a woman comes to your life, what is she supposed to do? Sit there and watch you play the game all day? Or is she supposed to play the game with you all day? Versus the man who goes out, have fun, travel, live life, has experiences. That's way more attractive, bro. It's that simple. That's why I say, bro, build a life, bro. Find like a fun life, not just for women, but for you. You don't want to just sit in the house and play video games all day, bro. You want to travel, see the world, go do some fun shit.
Really unattractive for a woman. The gracious way to handle rejection is say, oh, okay, no worries, you're a great girl, and whoever ends up with you is the lucky man.
It's crazy to see how many guys have such a hard time accepting this hyper-logical reality. Now, I'm not typically the one to go against guys. Obviously, normally I'm for the guy's side, but the problem is this. too many guys are coping. Before, you would date whoever's in your village or whoever you had access to. Dating was much more practically oriented, and there was much more pressure from families to ensure that this took place. There was no government to step in and take care of anybody if things didn't work out. Now, because there's social programs that everybody's forced to pay into, there's a safety net for women when they exit a relationship if they need it. Men have always been expected to provide, of course, so while they have that safety net, it usually doesn't last as long as it does for women, especially if they have kids. The last thing anybody wants for a developed society, especially from a PR perspective, is to see a bunch of homeless women with their children on the street. Naturally, they're going to need more help. This is exactly why dating used to be very, very different. There's a lot of pressure from the woman's father for another man to come in and take responsibility. Otherwise, he had to take responsibility for her. There was so much less obscurity when it came to survival in that era. Things were much more cut and dry, and you didn't have this endless amount of time or abundance to go seek the perfect partner. Now, inevitably, we do live in that era where the average person can go attempt to seek that perfect person. For this reason, think about it critically. From the perspective of a woman who's being genuine to herself that is not masculine possessed, does she really want a guy to chase her endlessly to the end of the earth just to get her? Does that really signal any form of abundance? Or is it because the
No, because women like men that other women like, bro. They try to deny it, bro. It's hilarious. Women try to deny the groupie effect. Women ultimately like men that other women like. It's just that simple. That's why they say 80% of women like the same 20% of men. Because it just shows that you're in abundance and you know how to get women. You know how to treat a woman. If a woman sees you with an attractive woman, she's going to like think like, damn, like how did he get her? I wonder what's so special about him. It will pique their curiosity. The groupie effect is real.
guy is just idealizing her from a position of scarcity. When 99% of men are scarce, what do they tend to do? Idealize. Does that mean that he actually likes that woman, or is he just picking her out of convenience? Of course, he's going to convince himself that she's perfect simply to satisfy a need, as most people do. To close up this idea, just understand that chasing is an absolute waste of your time. Sure, it may work out for you here and there, but typically it's not going to be for the right reason. Chasing never screams dominance, because the ultimate truth is you don't need a woman to live. A woman should enhance your life, but she shouldn't be the focus. If she is the primary focus, don't you dare call yourself a dominant man. All right, Helena, choker girl. See what you got.
Do you know why dating is unfair for men and not for women? Because men have to earn love. Women don't. Women can just show up and there will always be someone to love them. But a man, he has to be confident. He has to have money. He has to have status. He has to have worked on himself. He has to whatever, because a man who is fat, who has no money, who has no status, who has no self-control will not be loved by anyone except maybe his parents. But that's it. No one else.
Thank you, bro. Well said. I can't say it much better than that, bro. If you're not a man that works on himself and take pride in his appearance and his presentation, you're going to lose, bro. That's why you got so many guys on this internet coping, talking shit about women and mad about guys who do get women. Because instead of taking that anger and saying, yo, let me get my fat ass up and go do something productive, they just hate, and that's why they struggle, bro. It's that simple. And I hate to be harsh about guys like that because I want to see guys win, but most guys, they don't want to do what it takes to win, and it shows.
Else will care about him. So women out there saying that dating is harder for women, where? It is so not harder for women. The worst kind of woman will find love, but a man has to be exceptional in so many ways in order to just have one person care about him.
Let's be honest, what she's saying is complete facts, but
we're going to stop it there because I'm going to give my thoughts and we're going to wrap this video up. Y'all know I'm not trying to watch the whole video. I just want the key points. Bro, so what I'm telling y'all is this, bro. Women understand what's going on. Women understand that they like certain men. Women are aware of this. Men, that's the part that we don't understand. A lot of the time, we try to demonize guys who get women. We try to demonize guys who put into work. Or we try to demonize women. Oh, well, they should like me because I'm a nice guy and this and that and this and that. Like, bro, you can be as nice as you want. If you haven't put in no work, what does that do? And then the guys who do put in the work, oh, they're just assholes. They're narcissistic. They're this or that. No, bro, they understand if I build myself up and work on becoming a better version of myself, I'll be happier. I'll be more confident. I'll have assets. I'll have a fun life. And that will naturally attract women. Women is just a byproduct of you putting in the work, bro. It's that simple, bro. There's nothing you can do as far as, oh, I'm going to be super nice, I'm going to be super that. If you're not putting in the work, bro, you're wasting your time. Simple as that. It's a cutthroat world, especially for men. But yeah, that's it. Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe for more videos. Road to 10K. That's it. Peace.